we've talked about government ownership. There's a company that the government owns around 48.9%. That company, when I mentioned it, it normally doesn't bring a lot of joy to Kenyans. Kenya Airways. It's been good news for Kenya Airways this week. We saw that Parliament approved a deal for KQ to be able to access more US more of the US market. That is apart from the JFK, where that is in New York, where they have a direct flight from Nairobi to New York. And now in this deal, they'll be able to have direct flights to other cities aside from New York, probably Washington, D.C., Los Angeles, and the likes.
Yeah, but I'm guessing, I think Washington. Hey, what is happening to me today? Allah,
what's popping?
Where?
You had a jug of Mursik before you came.
Hey, it's a struggle. But yeah, I'm guessing Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
Maybe Dallas, Texas. I'm just trying to think of the
LA,
the routes. I don't know. I don't know many people who go to LA. Not to say that,
but I think there are a lot of Kenyans in Texas.
Yeah, there are a lot of Kenyans in Texas. A lot of guys in Minnesota.
Wakisi.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Scratch that. Anyway,
yeah, and there's also a huge Somali community in Minnesota.
Yeah.
They have actually elected a Somali to the House of Representatives.
To the Congress.
Yeah,
US Congress.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think Dallas, Maryland, but I'm guessing Washington and Dallas should be if I'm to speculate, I would say those would be the two.
But then, for me, my thinking is that probably they're looking at a cargo market.
Yeah.
So probably it may not be the areas that he has mentioned. So probably where we might have, horticulture products, moving to the US. So probably there are cargo markets that KQ would want to exploit on that end. But also on the reverse end, we will have airlines from the US that will be able to access the Kenyan market. And more importantly,
that has not been happening, by the clarify.
Yeah, that hasn't been happening. We haven't had any American airline coming to Kenya. Yeah. So we also have seen that FedEx, they want to set up a station at JKIA.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest chunk of what Americans will get from this.
Yeah.
We're also looking at...
Do you guys think that's why they were pushing for that?
Probably.
Because I've been looking at the e-commerce statistics in Kenya.
Yeah.
And generally, with the onset of Corona, people have really moved into e-commerce.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Ordering on Jumia and all that. And now, ordering off Amazon is a kawaida thing now.
Yeah.
Because I remember there's a time I was buying, phone cases? I was buying phone cases off AliExpress. Mm-hmm. That's from Alibaba.
Yeah.
Could take like a week. Then you have your products, your merchandise. You go down to this street, Nyamakima.
Yeah, and
Luthuli Street. Those guys will tell you it's very easy to get products from China, and such global e-commerce platforms like AliExpress. I've said AliExpress. Jeff Bezos, Amazon. Yeah. So I think that is why the US is like willing to sign this agreement, because they know that there's something they have something to gain from it.
Yeah.
Because they want to facilitate, and I think it's one company that is to facilitate all that.
And I think they've noticed
speculation.
I think they've noticed the gap, because right now, if you want to import, if you want to buy an item from Amazon and you send it locally, if you want to send it to Kenya, it does not make sense to use Amazon's shipping. Because it's expensive. So I don't know who Amazon uses, but I'm guessing it's either between DHL or FedEx. But because FedEx do not have their own, let's say, because they're working with some other company,
I think it's a franchise.
So I hope it will improve their service, because what happened was in 2019 I traveled to the US, and then on coming back I forgot my laptop.
Oops.
And it was my work laptop. So, and I had family coming over like in a month.
Yeah.
But I was like, this one I need chap.
Yeah.
So the next day, like, got someone to go to DHL, not DHL, FedEx. They used FedEx to send the laptop over to me. And I thought this one would be chap. Like in 2 days, it's a flight. And they charge ridiculous rates. I think they charged almost 50 Gs just to send it.
How much was the laptop worth?
Me, I do. It was a work laptop.
You didn't care.
But no, I cared because now, man, how am I supposed to the ethics of using your own personal laptop?
50,000.
But yeah, it was a lot of money just to send it.
Yeah.
And then what happened when it landed in Kenya?
Yeah.
Like KRA forced me to pay.
Like it was a new
Like
item.
for something that is clearly used, as in, and so they held on to it for like literally the family who was coming, like she got here
Before the laptop.
before I got my laptop, and she would have carried it in her bag for free.
Wow.
As in, I was so upset at FedEx. I was so upset at it was just a bad month.
Well, I think the frequency of, when was that, 2019?
Yeah, that was 2019.
Yeah, that's a
before
bit too recent. But
yeah, and now that's what I'm saying. I hope with this, when they're setting this up, I hope that now it will make it cheaper if you are importing from Amazon, and especially the US websites.
Yeah.
I hope that shipping will now be easier and cheaper.
But then you see, the other thing you have to consider is that people buy off Amazon, but they don't ship using Amazon or Shopify or those companies themselves. Because you find, like you've said, you've talked of the Somali community being in Minnesota.
Yeah.
So you'd have them setting, the nature of the businesses that they're setting at the moment that's very rampant is shipping. That is, they have their own place there.
Yeah.
So you buy an item off Amazon, ship it to that place, then now they ship it to Nairobi. Now they know the Chuom now, the Luthuli. They tell you come to this place in Kimathi Street.
Yeah, yeah.
So you don't have to go to I don't know which office in Westlands in DHL and all that.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's bound to help them improve.
No, because I think if it's controlled by DHL and they are controlling the logistics, because they already have everything mapped out quite well. So in terms of the most efficient routes and whatnot, like that could be sorted, that element of the business. So if it's under their control, that means that they're able to probably have the most efficient routes at the
Distribution
cheapest,
channels.
the cheapest cost. Because what is happening here, the two most popular means in Kenya, if you want to import, would be using a Savo store, the Savo store, and then there's Kentex Cargo. Personally, I use Kentex Cargo. So basically, what they do have their own warehouse in the US. So when you buy from Amazon or from wherever, you have it shipped to them.
Exactly.
So they give you your own address.
Yeah.
So they receive it and then now they plan.
How they get it.
So that's usually, so they're cheap because they just charge. They have a charge per kilo.
Is it $15?
$15,
The last time I checked was $15.
Yeah. So $15 per kilo. Then it comes. You pay when it arrives. So that's what's
duty.
So I don't know how they usually sort it.
But it's normally when they give you the rates, it's normally calculated plus duty. They do the clearance for you with KRA, then for you they just give you a product. Because that's how I see most people do.
Yeah, I think so.
The price is determined solely by the weight or the space that that product is going to.
Yeah, and they already have a range from KRA 0 to 5 kgs, what, and the type of the product, of course.
No, KRA does not charge
Because,
you
let me
import
tell you
duty on the size or weight of your import.
It's supposed to be on the
It's on the value.
So a laptop and a MacBook, for example, the latest MacBook would be worth like $3,000.
Yeah,
you can't compare that with a chessboard game.
Yeah, and they have
they're almost the same size.
Absolutely, I get your point.
Yeah.
But do you know, actually, cargo, for example, at the moment, KRA have made their system very efficient. Also, in conjunction with the Kenya Ports Authority. Do you know that you can finish your clearance for your product while it's 7 days before it arrives? So when it arrives, you have the paperwork done, everything, and you just submit. So KRA, they just come and check, yes, this is the product that you said it is. Yeah, the value you initially indicated, the duty you paid, tick.
That must be a very recent development, because I see what happened in the Mombasa port. People's cars are auctioned, man.
But you know that has been happening since time immemorial. There are people who import cars, then they don't have the money to clear the duties.
No, you find someone has 900,000, then they go and look for a car worth 899,000. You know, they don't know that's the price of the car.
There has been issues of corruption when it comes to that. So you import a car, knowing very well that you don't have the money to pay for the duty. Then when it gets to Kenya, you just chill and you wait for it to be taken to the yard, where KRA puts such kind of vehicles.
Yeah.
Then for you as a very bad citizen, you go and look for KRA officials, tell them, hey, let me buy for you chai, then you release my vehicle and the likes.
Which is, again, what you said the last time. It is easier to seal the tax leaks than to put more pressure on citizens to pay more tax.
Absolutely.
Such tax leaks.
Yeah.
Understand? Yeah. Because if you digitize everything, the whole process now, such that you reduce the human interaction, you reduce the chances of such illicit transactions.
Kalia, okay, moving on. So we saw that this week, Saiton.
Wait. Before we go to Saiton.
Yeah.
Thank you for saving me for
On this, yeah, the expansion of flights or routes, assuming it's passenger.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it will have that big a difference on KQ, because these flights are long. 15-hour flights are long.
Kwani KK ina mafuta, bro?
No, it's not about. It's about your comfort as a passenger.
Very comfortable.
Like if you're not flying business or above, like sitting in one position for 15 hours is a long flight.
Tell you what, it's better than moving from Nairobi, then you have to take me to Dubai, keep
No,
me
I'd
in
rather
Dubai for
that.
4 hours, then moving
Actually,
from Dubai,
I'd
you have to
prefer-
move me to Frankfurt, then I spend 6 hours in Frankfurt, then from Frankfurt now you want to take me directly to New York. It's strenuous.
No, for me, I'd prefer that.
Just kill me one time.
For me, imagine I'd prefer that. I'd prefer splitting it into two. I'd rather go to Heathrow, chill for like 2 hours as I wait for the connecting flight, and then go from Heathrow to wherever it is. Or if it's Heathrow, if it's Germany, if you're using Germany or Switzerland, whichever. Like Europe, then the States. I think going through Dubai and then to the States are still that will be a long flight. So I think for most people who, especially people who travel a lot, if you're traveling on economy, I think it does make sense to do Europe then US, because it splits into like 8-8.
Okay. With the 2 hours though.
With a 2-3 hour rest to walk around, get your legs. If you're flying business, then you're good.
But you know
Doesn't
the financial, at the end of the day, the financial implication is the route profitable? If the route is profitable, kaende KQ's balance sheet is horrible. They need
Has
that
the New
money.
York route been profitable?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. To
As the Asian
to
line.
the best of my
Receipts.
knowledge,
We want receipts.
As the
to the
Asian
best of
lines,
my
bro.
knowledge, it's no profitable. Is it profitable? Like not profitable like
because they
Asian,
actually
like
because
is
they
it
actually
profitable?
had to
Yes.
reduce the frequency of flights to through
Okay,
to
let
New
me
York.
state this information came from one of the former board members of KQ. So I haven't ascertained the numbers yet, but on episode 9 I'm gonna come with the numbers. I think it's profitable.
Well,
For me-
again, if you look at the Kenya-US trade,
Yeah.
what Kenya exports is agricultural produce and
And apparel,
clothing.
clothes from the
what
EPZs.
comes from US to here is majorly tourists and
and a
majorly
lot of
tourists.
machinery.
And if you look at that, in the airline industry, customer service is very key, bro.
Absolutely.
I don't want to lose my, like what Kali has said. It's emotive. There's an emotive aspect to that. Kali is never going to forget the time that he had to pay 50 Gs for, and then it took I don't know how long for his laptop to come here.
Yeah.
So now you're here, you're dealing with. You see, when you're going, Africans.
But no,
can,
you're
African,
now you're comparing cargo with air transport. You know,
no,
there are people
Kwani who
who
owns the cargo seats? Humans.
there are people who are going to overlook that. There are people who actually need, if you see, for emergencies, where you're like the proverbial phrase in movies, I'm on the next flight. Okay, so if on the next flight, so there's that emergency where I need to be in New York or in America, ASAP. So a direct flight. That's the thing.
No, what I meant by customer service is the experience. I hear nowadays people are served peanuts.
Okay,
Really, bro?
you know
And
when
then
you
you
said
go
that,
to eat-
when you had said that,
go to
it's
Emirates.
proverbial. You're served peanuts, like they're giving you
Literally peanuts. And
very small things, like
it could be figurative and also
Yeah.
literal. Yeah,
You're just there to the wait test.
yeah.
Thank you for giving me my salary.
But
That's
you know
a
what?
meme,
It
that.
goes with. It actually goes with your pocket. it's a matter of
No.
demand and supply, willing buyer, willing seller, according to the size of your pocket.
No.
You know,
No, I agree.
if
I
you go to
disagree
the
with
US, like this guy's been to the US, he knows Spirit Airlines. Spirit Airlines is constantly bashed for poor services in the US, but people consistently fly
Because it's cheap.
Yes, that's the point. I mean,
But
if you're flying, you fly with your budget.
KQ,
KQ
if you
isn't
look at the
cheap.
prices,
KQ, you can't have
almost
that argument
matches
for KQ because
Kina
KQ isn't
Emirates.
cheap.
and then the services are so the variance between the services are very, very.
Yes, I agree. There are some routes where KQ is more expensive than other airlines.
Like almost all routes, maybe except China.
I think
Guangzhou.
people who fly KQ fly it to support the brand, not because that it is convenient.
we need to have the CEO here, Mr. Alan, to discuss that.
Support local.